Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. Okay, in this lesson, we'll go through this guide for the Unreal Engine Marketplace. You can find the link to this guide directly. We'll tell you how to find it. This is it, the Marketplace Guide. You must read through it completely yourself. I only plan to cover one lesson here. Take a look yourself. I'll just go through it with you, and I'll point out some details I notice. The Unreal Marketplace is where we can sell many things, like audio, bloop, and plugins. And but you must comply with the guidelines, and you need to provide some service support, otherwise your content might be removed. Also, your promotional materials must be consistent, and submissions must be made through the Epic Marketplace. Don't include any sensitive or controversial terms or offensive language, and you cannot infringe on trademarks or games. You can't just take someone else's work and change it. Or raise king, sell yourself. These are also inappropriate, and these things are quite sensitive. You do your own thing. The teacher is honest. It's fine as long as the teacher makes money. And then you must choose. This place must be accurately described. What your plugin does, that is you clearly are. Something that reads and writes local files. But you insist on saying it's for network transmission. That's not right. Right. And at the same time, in this place, unless permitted, you're not allowed to use Epic Scam. Terms related to Unreal Engine. Nor may you exceed the scope of your own intellectual property. The language must be accurate. Here, only English may be used. Spelling correct, grammar correct. Part of it comes out. We only need to look at this one. Then these are additional notes. Here, emphasize content within the animation. Video links should be added. In short, add them as much as possible. If you have time, record some, upload them to YouTube. This is a minor issue. It's nothing. Even if it's for marketing, it must be added because I'm all code, so it's fine. Never mind these. Then you must write it according to a specification. You need to clarify this dependency. That is, what things are used. Only then can it be used normally. Okay, as for pricing, that decide for yourself. Only if it's a plugin. Can you make it free and then maybe other resources? Can't you just make it free? Then it's priced based on the US dollar, plus some taxes. These adjustment situations. Then Epic sometimes has regular discounts. Can be 30% or 50% off. They will send you an email. Then you just agree to it. Then here are the images. Must be relevant. Also pay attention to third-party copyrights. Then these images, make sure to clarify whether the images were rendered outside of Unreal Engine. There's a small detail here, because when I took the screenshot, I noticed that if I turn off my windows, these few things below have been captured. Sorry, it won't pass. You know what I mean? That is, if you capture something, you've captured these few apps, it won't pass. When you capture, only Unreal is allowed. Only the Unreal Blueprint Editor is allowed. We can see. You can see me flipping through here. You can send me these screenshots. If this place of mine includes, these screenshots include my windows, then sorry, it won't work. Okay, let's continue. Let's stop here. Okay, this has been erased. This won't be needed for now. You can erase it. Okay, right here. And this part is when you upload it. It's actually a direct link. We usually use Google. I'll demonstrate it to you in a moment. This thing, even if you search the entire internet, it's very hard to find. And even if you do find it, it's very frustrating. But right now, I'll directly provide you with one method. It can be used all the time. Then you must have the download link for this YUP file. Then, that is to say, anyway, you must. And it must support him during compilation. Then you might also need to renew some keys. You might first upload a key with a version. Let people test and pass it. Then later you upload a key without a version. You can do it this way. Of course, I directly uploaded all keys without versions. Yes, because mine are relatively simple. Okay. Then, you need to solve the problem. Then submit for initial review. Must support the latest version. So obviously this part must support the latest version of Unreal Engine. For example, this can then write. And sometimes there is a situation, if I support 5.2, 5.1, of course that's fine. You create another version and there's no problem. So you cannot, within one product link, simultaneously support 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3. Do you understand what I mean? You get what I mean? At most, this link supports 5.3, and it supports Android and Windows. You write it yourself. Either this link only supports 5.32. That's fine. You cannot support both 5.1 and 5.2 with this link. And at the same time, after 3 versions of the Unreal Engine, you can no longer modify it. That is, if I submit now, I can only submit 5.2, 5.3, 5. Even if 5.1 Spiritage, I have no way to support them. But if I supported them before, I still cannot change it. This is a bit abstract. But anyway, just go with the latest version. If someone else has this need, they can contact you through the contact information you left, or usually via email. And anyway, you need to assist in solving the problem. Then use a support package here. That means it is forbidden to include any II or observed blueprints, etc. And some may be in the form of a complete project, which can be sold as a complete project. Some are merged in some way. Pay attention to this merged form. Why you are not allowed to do this INR or level blueprint is because of these things. You cannot do it in a project. If you want to migrate and reuse it, it will be particularly troublesome because this resource package cannot have any external dependencies if you download resources from the Unreal Marketplace. That it absolutely does not depend on anything else. It only depends on the engine's content. Okay, and this part is the most important one. That is to say, must state, I must read this entire part to you. The seller must state whether the product contains usage dependencies, released any form of third-party software. Third-party software is any files that do not come from the seller or epic, including but not limited to fonts, images, audio, API content, source code compilation library. Okay, if you use it, you can use it, no problem. You must fill out the form to include the third-party open source license, its website URL and the creator's contact information. Fill it in across the board. Okay, no problem. Then this is the content guide. Then it will be reviewed. Then this is where you do some. That is, you need to change enable to false and such things. And then these dependencies of yours must be obtainable. That is, you cannot give others. You must depend on A, but the others cannot even get A. You say my product B must depend on A. You need A to use B, but you simply cannot get A. Then this thing of yours is unreasonable, and you need to be original. Differentiate from public tutorials like these, and you must provide help to everyone. Yes, and at the same time, don't have gravity-related component, because sometimes you like to move blueprints around. There is gravity. You must keep it clean and tidy. And Epic's assets, they can only be used for demonstration purposes. You must not sell other people's assets. And if this thing, it is best to still support source code. If others use source code, they are not using the released version of the engine. If you block your plugin, it will not support. If others want to use source code, they won't be able to. Then you are expected to provide some means for them to use it. Okay, then these are some sales agreements. IPX will have some layers. 5 fonts should be fine. Shouldn't be a big problem. And then here, anyway, it's a bunch of legal stuff, statements, nothing interesting to see. Then here are some open source licenses. Okay, just search for it yourself. This software development stuff, won't go into detail on this. Then here is the art animation. Google Web, people making art assets often use these. We'll skip these parts. We won't bother with these things, meaning your textures have some standards. Don't go messing around with those strange textures. And these Google things of yours, don't define a Google name yourself. Everyone else uses root. You insist on using Shellgang root. That's just asking for trouble. It definitely won't pass review, right? Besides, this Google thing has some very strict requirements. I don't know about this. I won't go into detail. Here, we mainly modify this plugin in the uplugin file. There was an engine version. As for this engine version, you don't need to write it yourself. You just need to go through the Epic launcher, this launcher client, to package this plugin once in this way. In the package of the packaging, it will automatically include this engine version. And here there is a whitelist or a blacklist, meaning which platforms can use it. And which platforms can. And here there is a field. You can see the markers out is this field. So this field is mandatory. Then you must, the merchant portal, the suffix of this link. So your link is the suffix. After you create it, you will have this link. Then you take this link and paste it in to replace it. Just replace it like this. Then you can depend on the Unreal Engine to make this engine plugin. We talked about engine plugins. Did we talk about it somewhere? We talked about it in chapter 3, right? Right? It's chapter 3, isn't it? But you cannot depend on other users' plugins. As for the engine stuff, 禁言的、切的、静怡、氦气、静怡 engine modules and engine plugins. Just use it. There is an enable option in the plugin. Enable this plugin. We'll show you directly. Just look at these things, keep them in mind. See, I've used it here. This audio plugin, this is an engine plugin. No problem at all. And here is the code. As for this code, it's about how you place it, where to place it. Let me tell you. Later, we will guide everyone to write. I will tell you how to place it. You just need to put it in the right position. There are two methods, but if you want to publish on Unreal Engine, and then you can only follow. Alternatively, follow our second method. The first method is to write our own project in bullet curtain. Then you can place it freely. And this thing, all source code and header files must include a copyright notice stating let me give you an example. If you haven't done it before, you really don't know, don't write this. This is up like, if you write it, he won't be able to read or parse this level. You can see, what is this? Put it at the very top. Right, this cannot be missing. Every code file needs to have it. Whether it's OM or a C language file or a person file, mainly what you write. You have to write it even if it's someone else's. You're using someone else's header file, they didn't write it. You need to add it, otherwise it will be rejected. See, we wrote it in build.cs. It must be written everywhere in this chapter. 90 when submitting a plugin. We'll definitely miss this. And you will say, I clearly didn't miss it. How could I have missed it? Then after you check, you will find that you did miss it after all. Then we can write it. Either we can write a small program to check it. Did you write the copyright notice? Okay, this point is passed, because it's very important. That's why I emphasized it to you. Then these are some modules of the black box, and this feature must be useful. Don't write something like stealing the engine's source code, and then hastily writing a plugin. That won't work. Don't do that. Doing so will ruin your reputation. Yes, you are a disreputable person. Okay, then you cannot distribute the exe, cannot distribute the manuscript. Fine. So this section of code and this section of text are both very essential. I have already emphasized to you. We will guide you through writing it later. So don't worry, we will have several plugins later. Actually, there are commercial plugins. Sorry, this sentence is special. And here, your compilation must not produce errors. So how do you verify it? That is, you package it here. Package. You support Windows. You build for Windows. Support Android. Then build the Android package. Must not report errors. Then after launching, it should be able to run. And packaging the plugin separately here is also fine. Okay, listen. That's how it should be. You can tell there are two. One is packaging the plugin. The other is packaging the project, right? Actually, there's also that it runs normally after packaging. Many people write plugins that cannot be used in Blueprint projects. So how do we solve this problem? I'll show you later how to solve this problem, okay? Because I wrote my own plug type, I need to expose it to Blueprint. So I encountered this problem. I'll show you the solution. Most of the time, it's a plugin issue, but some are just configuration issues. And this thing is IW. It's mentioned in the official documentation. You only need to include the headers you need. Follow the standard workflow. Then in IPEX, it only compiles for the 3 main engine versions, not to mention. Then these things from before 4.20, we just completely ignore them. Okay, then these are some vision projects. You can work on some vision projects. I haven't paid T2. And actually, I just directly put my vision up on GitHub. Okay, then this is the file structure naming convention. This has already been covered in chapter 3. And you shouldn't. I've already told you. Don't talk about things like 6 and such. Don't write it that way. Just follow the standard. And we'll name things according to the convention. So this is a hierarchical structure. You can see. Okay, then you submit. Actually, when we submit later, we actually let me find it for everyone. Let me show everyone. There's no problem here when we submit. Actually, when submitting, it's just this plugin. You see, it's just this plugin. Because I've already submitted it completely, I actually only need to submit this much. You see, no problem. This is all code now. Okay, good. So that's it for now. And this is the plugin's hierarchy structure. There's nothing much to say about this. I've already explained it to you. Good, yes, for you. And we can also put documents here, but I'll put my documents on GitHub. Just arrange them according to this hierarchy. And as for the quality, anyway, you know what I mean. You optimize it. This document needs to be entirely in English. Write entirely in English on GitHub. You can see, must be entirely in English. But you can provide translations. Actually, we also provide translations here. You can see. But I don't know if anyone has looked at this. There should be people looking at it. There is a CN document here. This is standard markdown syntax. It's quite good. I think the learning system is pretty good. And here, let's continue looking below. These are some aids to help solve this problem. And you must support the latest 3 versions. But if you don't support APAS, it gets removed for you. This is why you'll find many old plugins. Why? Does he buy it? You buy it, and you have it, but after a while, others won't be able to buy it. Others won't have it. Because you know what I mean. It's just that APAS was removed for you. No way around it, because the burden of this version is actually quite heavy. Then when we communicated via email, you must connect the previous and subsequent offenses in the agreement. Like, dear my friend, is my owner to help you? And things like that, right? This is very narrow in English. Sounds good. Anyway, he will send you an email. Most communication is done via email. No need to rush, because those foreign experts, they work according to standard hours. Usually, we have 2 to 3 days for one email. One plugin takes 2 to 3 days. It's very normal not to hear back from you, especially the first time you submit for review. It's very slow. And now there is a detail here. This 12% is for EPIC. Only when you exceed 100 US though. Will they make a monthly payment? If you don't reach it this month, but don't reach it next month either, but if the cumulative total for the month after next is reached, then it will be given to you in the month after that, and if it hasn't been reached for a whole year, you only sold $50 this year, he will give it to you at the end of the year. But this one will be delayed by 30 days. Will be delayed by 30 days. For example, if you sold it in March, you will have to wait until the end of April, April the 30th, to receive the money from March. And it is paid through this Hyper wallet. Then it will be remitted in USD. I use USD here. Remitted to a bank account. I didn't use PayPal, and USD is remitted to the bank account. The handling fee is like this. The first 2 times, he didn't charge me a handling fee. Later on, it seemed like he charged a fixed handling fee of $5 US. Right, okay. And then there might be some other thing. And if you use other methods, for example, if you have certain banks they're assed up with, their cross-border USD transfer protocol might be different. You might end up being charged a lot of transit fees. So here I recommend using China Merchants Bank savings card. Yeah, that'll do. And anyway, some marketing tactics. These promotional methods, he will send an email. Send an email, he will give you a link. Link. Then go and fill in your product's URL. Then the URL during the next event will be discounted. Get a 10% discount. Send it. This small issue. Then this is a consumption guide. That is the profession. Then the rights. Note the thing you bought. You're directly allowed to use it, but you cannot continue to distribute and sell it. Yes, you can see this right. That you have purchased this product. You can also use and modify it. Worldwide, promote, sell, publicly perform, and display these things, but you cannot resell someone else's product. Selling it again is not allowed. Anyway, that's roughly what it means. Let's go take a look together. Okay, and these are our mainstream payment methods. Blah, 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 and so on. And refunds are blah, 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 and so on. Okay. We briefly go through this Unreal Engine Marketplace guide document with everyone. Okay, that's all for this lesson. Thank you, everyone.